Now, with the guards murdering the prisoners on those videos, family members of the victims of the guards sued the jail and awarded millions in compensation. And just to give you an example, these weren't big bad gang members that were getting murdered by the guards. Brian Crenshaw was partially blind, failed to produce his ID for the evening meal. The guards pulverised him, broke his neck, severe internal injuries. He went into a coma, he died over a month later. Scott Norberg was a mentally ill man wandering a neighbourhood. They brought him in. The guards started beating him and electrocuting him with tasers. A female guard tried to stop it. Why are you still beating him? He's already dead. They pushed her off, they kept beating him. Inmates watching from the holding cell started yelling, why are you still beating him? He's already dead. And even after that, they continued to beat the corpse, turn blue and everything. What do you guys think the boss of the jail did to the guards that were found responsible in federal court for murdering those prisoners?
Nothing.
You're going in the right direction.
Paid them.
Yeah, gave them a promotion and a pay rise.
Yeah.
So the gang members murder someone, gets caught on camera, death penalty. The guards murder someone, gets caught on camera, promotion and pay rise by Sheriff Joe Arpaio. That's a direct incentive to murder. Now, this is probably, we're touching on this subject, that the relevancy of this, the most, is it nature versus nurture that causes these violent acts? Or can people who live completely normal lives switch into this violent mentality and commit horrific acts of violence? I mean, if you look at the history of the Nazis, you know, you got mailmen, office workers, clerks, rising up the Nazi party, torturing and murdering all these people, and just, you know, just saying they were doing it because the government was telling them to do it. In the case of some of these videos where the guards are murdering the prisoners, what I've noticed is an incident will happen. I'll give you one example. There was a guy who come back from serving in the Middle East. He was a Hispanic war veteran, and he was mentally ill. I think his crime was he kicked a car door in a car park or yelled off at somebody, and they brought him in. He's got his back to the wall in a cell. About 12 guards come in, and they start talking to him. Then one of the guards just comes forward and throws him down, and then they all start just kicking him and punching him and coming. And it reminds me of a pack of wolves. And they're doing this for several minutes, just like a pack of wolves, just taking a turn. And I'm thinking, what's going through their minds as they're murdering this guy? You know, I don't believe that these guards joined the jail to end up there that day murdering that person. Maybe one or two of them had some psychopathic tendencies, but I don't think they joined to commit that act. But the brain state can change. So your rational mind, you know, when you're thinking normal thoughts all day in your everyday life, the amygdala, once a violent situation starts, the amygdala hijacks the rational mind, and you don't start behaving normally like you would in everyday life. You start behaving more like an animal, and this violence comes out. So once all these guys are pack of wolves on this guy, they can't stop themselves. You can see they can't stop themselves. It's like a feeding frenzy. And you know that part of the brain is hijacked. They're not thinking rationally anymore. Well, this to go on for minutes and minutes and minutes like it did. This guy's curled up in the fetal position. There's no way he's going to cause anyone harm. And they're just beating him and tasering him and kicking him and punching him. You know, how does the brain just get into that state to enable these guys to just mentally just going at it like that? It's human survival, isn't it? When you get in a violent situation, your amygdala starts taking over everything else, and the rest of it shuts down.